Welcome back to another RXMuscle Spotlight. Today's guest is going to be Greene, IFBB Men's Classic Physique Pro, turned pro at the NPC JR USA in 2020. Didn't get a chance to compete last year, backed out of a show, and we're going to be seeing him in Atlanta July 16th of this year for his pro debut. Al, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me today, Dave.
Now, you work at a high school right here in Naples, down the road from us, you know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm the head strength coach and as well as assistant athletic director down here.
You know, Al, I got to ask you this question because, you know, my son just started playing sports. You know, he's 6 years old, and I sit on the sidelines, the soccer field, and I played soccer as a kid. And I'm like, I got to bite my fingers. I got to bite my cheek because I want to yell at everyone, you know. And I know that the worst thing is to be a coach and to have the dumb parents yelling, you know, things to you. When you train these kids, you know, when you're coaching kids, whether it be gym class or you know, on a team sport, what's the most important thing, do you think, especially for the young kids, you know, to kind of like drive home in their head? Is it the skills or is it the mindset?
I think more important is the mindset.
That's what
simply being first off, you know, a father, and secondary a coach. You know, you kind of want to leave that mindset to create a better almost professional, not professionalism, but a better drive to compete as well as continue doing whatever they're doing to the best of their abilities.
See, my thing, and tell me if I'm crazy or not, because then I'll just shut my mouth about it. I feel like kids at that age are the biggest impediment they have in sports, especially contact sports like that, is they're afraid of banging into someone. It's like they're scared. I see kids turning their back. Even I see my son turn his back once in a while. If I was a coach, I'd get him on the field. And I remember my coach when I was doing it, they used to throw soccer balls at us and make us, yeah, I'm knocking shit everywhere. And it used to make us block the ball without using our hands, obviously, like I'd be on a soccer field. And it was like desensitizing our bodies to getting hit.
Right.
I mean, is that too much for a 6-year-old? I mean, I think that if you can get them over being afraid, I think they'll be much better players.
I think more or less you end up, every kid is a little bit different. So you get some kids that are playing flag football in the little leagues,
yeah,
but then they got brothers or sisters or dads that play with them rough, so they don't have a problem being aggressive.
Right.
I mean, even at the high school level, you see kids that have never played contact sports before.
Right.
So they're still kind of timid a little bit, and you kind of got to bring that aggression out of them. Where it's like me, I'm a rah-rah guy in the weight room, so whenever they come, they see me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in your face. You know, this is a whole different level. You know, this isn't mom and dad's touch football. This is the real deal.
I agree with you. I'm glad you said that. So I'm gonna keep my, because I really believe that once kids get over being afraid, they're gonna be much better athletes. You know. So.
Oh, definitely. That definitely helps. You know, especially in almost every sport that you play. I mean, my daughter, she does gymnastics right now.
Oh wow.
And I'm trying my best to push that competitiveness and stuff like that comes along with being a parent.
Yeah, my wife was a gymnast her whole life, so she'd love to meet your daughter. I'm sure they'd have a lot to talk about. How old is your daughter?
My daughter's 4. I also have an 18-year-old.
Oh wow! Oh, so you started young and then you went back and had another one. Exactly. That's awesome.
But this the kicker, Dave. You know, most people when they look at me, they think, man, I'm in my 30s. You know, I'm almost 40. I'll be 40.
I was going to say 20s, to be honest. You don't have a wrinkle on your face. Unbelievable.
Listen, so
good genetics.
So here's the deal. I've only competed in, this will be my 4th show, my pro debut.
Unbelievable.
And I'll be actually 2 days after I compete in my pro debut, I'll turn 40.
Holy mackerel. Now, how did you get involved so late in life?
What it is, I ended up, I played football all through high school, and then I got a full scholarship to play at Liberty University.
Nice.
So I played and I trained NFL athletes down here at a place called Velocity Sports Performance.
Okay.
And lo and behold, like one day I played arena ball for a while in Louisiana for the Shreveport Boys of Battle Wings.
Do they pay well at that arena football? I always wondered.
They don't pay as well as you think they would. You got a lot of guys that are living and sleeping and, sharing, apartments with each other, like 3 guys to a place. one guy's on the couch. You know, it is a factory where guys come in and
right.
Guys get shipped out. You know, so it's not one of those things where you sign a contract for
right.
you know, years or whatever.
Gotcha.
You know, some guy can get flown in and you can get flown right out. So it's one of those ordeals when it comes down to you know, playing at that level. You know, if you're not an NFL guy,
right.
You know, so it's a little tougher. But I was always around it. Being down here in this area down here in Naples, there aren't a lot of bodybuilders. You know, so
sure.
When you go into gyms, you don't see very many people. You see the older population, but no one is actually, you know, living and breathing the sport as much as you would like to see.
Right.
So I got started late, and then when I got that first bug, after that it just took off. You know, I've been working out since I was like 13 years old. So
you always trained. It wasn't like you were
right.
starting from zero. In other words, yeah.
Exactly. So the powerlifting and stuff like that I've learned over the years actually benefited.
Who's the one who got you to say, hey, you know what? You better get your butt up on stage. Did anyone like push you to that point, or did you do it yourself, basically?
It was, you know, I got mentions of it. Actually, the guy that actually caught me, I was actually in Orlando, and I ran into a guy named Ferlin Bailey.
I know
in Orlando, and he actually grabbed me and he was like, hey, I can turn you pro, you know, and he thought I was already a pro. I was just working out. And I was like, all right, cool. And lo and behold, here I am today.
Yeah, no, you definitely have well-trained muscle. That's not something you get in 2 years, you know, so you've been obviously working out your whole life. You know what? I found that sometimes guys that start later have better longevity in the sport because you don't have a whole lot of injuries, you know, because you haven't been doing this for, you know, 15 years and you've torn this muscle, torn that muscle, injured this joint and stuff like that. So, I mean, even your body looks fresh for almost 40 years old.
Oh yeah, I'm primed and ready, man. I'm when I look at it, you know, and I get encouraged when I watch other guys that are actually already competing and they're up in age. So it's almost like I root for the older guys, you know, to beat the younger guys, but simply because I'm an older guy.
You're an older guy, yeah, exactly.
I want to see you do something, because I always hear in the gyms and stuff like that, oh, I'm almost 50 or I'm almost 60. I can never get on stage. And I'm like, that's a personal goal. I believe gyms are the fountain of youth.
Yeah.
You know,
sure.
So when you turn back and you say, well, I'm not going to work out anymore. Well, that's when you just got old.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, I tell people this all the time. Look, I stopped competing, but I didn't never stop working out. And that's an important distinction. Right. Because you can downsize and change the way your physique looks, but you know, no one's going to say he doesn't have muscle or that he has body fat, you know, because it's working out is healthy. It's just a matter of, you know, what you want your physique to look like. Now, you got to make a weight class of 200 pounds in classic physique. I mean, you're pretty lean right now and you're almost 220. I mean, is that going to be a problem?
You know what? You know, I leave that to my the new coach that I have. And this guy is just amazing. He's been godsend ever since I've been with him. Actually, Keon Pearson actually put me on to the guy, and everything that he's done. Like if you look at my recent post on my IG, you can see like those are the same dates in 2 different years, and my body's actually tighter and more compact. There's a little bit more density to it. Yeah. This go around. And I'm shocked and eager to see exactly what actually happens, you know?
Yeah. Well, you got all the tools to do really well as long as you show up in great condition. I don't have any doubt that you're going to do very well in your pro debut. Now, let me ask you this question. I mean, you're a big believer. Before we did the interview, you had sent me a couple of bullet points. And one of the things you said, you're a very big believer in spreading the word, spreading knowledge, not just kind of dying with that knowledge inside of you. Because a lot of people are like very secretive. They don't want to share. As you know, if you watch any of my stuff, I'm very transparent. I like to really educate people a lot. Yeah. Why is it? Tell our viewers why it's so important to teach others and to spread the word.
Right. So one of the things that I always go into is I always say quiet knowledge is dead knowledge. Right. And my meaning behind that is, you know, if you never share the knowledge that you've compacted over the years, whether it be in sports, whether it be in bodybuilding, whether it be in a classroom that you met some kind of mentor or some kind of person that touched your life, that knowledge doesn't matter to the world. What did you do to make the world a better place? And I believe my calling from God is, you know, the knowledge that I've been able to acquire, whether it be from a coach that has taught me it, you know, i.e. during the diet or posing or whatever it may be. I want to share because I want to share and make every person that I come in contact with inspired. Like I talked to you before, you know, you get some of these older guys there in the gym and they're like, you know, I'm too old to do certain things. So I even grab them and I try to, you know, try to steer them in a different direction, saying, hey, guess how old I am or whatever it is. So when I say that I get, you know, fired up or I want the older guys to win, it's because, you know, I could have easily said, okay, well, I'm going to try to get my pro card at Masters. Yeah. But I'm like, freak that. I'm not competing against old guys. I want to beat them. Because at the end of the day, Dave, whenever we get on stage, it ain't no old guys.
No.
These are young guys.
Yeah.
You know, you got to compete with them or either, you know.
How do you balance your life? I mean, you got a job in a school. You're coaching people. I mean, you coach in the school. You have your clients at the gym you work at. Plus, you're competing and dieting, which takes an enormous amount of energy. How do you balance all that? Plus, your 4-year-old daughter you got.
You got to think about it. You know, one of the most important things is you know, having somebody that's stable and having a good team behind you. Yeah. Like you know, your wife is, and my wife is, you know, backbone of what make things go. You know, so actually being able to, you know, make time for the things that are important. Sure. Right. So if I know that I can't work out on a certain day because I have to be at school from 7 a.m. till, you know, 9 p.m. Right. Well, you got to put in your inside of your routine, understanding that I'm not going to make it on that day. Right. But guess what? All the rest of them, I got to figure out how I'm going to get it done.
You're right. You got a plan.
You know, whether it be, hey, I got to buy a stationary bike from Goodwill, you know, or a thrift store or something. You got to figure it out. You know, make a way to accomplish the things that you need to accomplish. Don't make excuses. Nobody want to hear excuses. Unless they're their own. You know what I mean? So you got to man up and get it done.
I remember Greene told me once, you know, he's like, I said, Kai, I can't get in touch with you. I'm supposed to interview the guy I was working for Muscular Development at the time. He's like, I see him at the show. I'm like, what happened? He goes, I didn't pay the phone bill. It wasn't a priority. I had to buy, you know, turkey and chicken and fish for my diet. I said, that's prioritizing, right? He didn't need a phone. What do I need a phone for? I'm trying to compete at a show. I got to eat my food. So this is before he had money, obviously. And so, you know, I absolutely, you got to prioritize. You got to find a way to get the job done. And obviously you have. And looking forward to seeing you up on that stage in Atlanta. Now, you say you're going to hit a few more shows. Tampa, was that on the list too?
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into Atlanta and hopefully win the Atlanta Pro, and then after the Atlanta Pro, I think it's Chicago, and then I believe there's also then there's Tampa. I definitely want to do Tampa because it's home for me.
Sure, yeah.
I'm a big believer in, you know, trying to touch those shows that are close by.
Plus, you don't have a lot of stage experience. You haven't competed that many times, so it's good to hit a few shows at this point.
Exactly. So I'm gonna do a guest posing at the Iron Classic in Daytona on May 14th. Excellent. Gonna do that with them and hopefully, you know, we rock the house on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, keep us updated, Al. Great talking to you, and hopefully, you know, we got the word out there. We put up, I think, his Instagram. If you follow Al, follow his whole journey to the stage for his pro debut. I think I'm predicting very big things for you, Al, in the future.
Hey, God bless you, man. I really appreciate it, Dave.
All right, guys, that's going to take us to the end of another RXMuscle Spotlight. I'm Dave Palumbo with Al Greene. We'll see you next time.
See you.
Thanks, man. Hey, what gym does your